Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're exploring one of the most dangerous and controversial military developments in history: biological weapons programs. Throughout the 20th century, governments around the world invested in the development of biological weapons, recognizing their potential to cause mass destruction using lethal pathogens and toxins. These programs, often shrouded in secrecy, posed a grave threat not only to enemies, but also to global stability and safety. In this episode, we'll explore what biological weapons are, the history of biological weapons programs, and the ongoing threat they pose today. Let's dive into the dark world of biological warfare. What are biological weapons? Biological weapons are pathogens or toxins deliberately used to harm or kill humans, animals, or crops. Unlike conventional weapons, which cause physical damage through explosives or projectiles, biological weapons rely on living organisms, such as bacteria, viruses, or fungi, or the toxins they produce to cause illness or death. Some of the most feared biological agents include anthrax, smallpox, botulinum toxin, and plague. These agents can spread rapidly and uncontrollably, making them particularly dangerous when used in warfare or terrorist attacks. The idea behind biological weapons is to incapacitate enemy populations, disrupt economies, or cause panic. What makes them so terrifying is their potential to spread beyond the initial target, creating a global health crisis that could spiral out of control. The history of biological weapons programs. The development of biological weapons programs dates back to World War I, when nations first began to explore the use of infectious diseases as weapons. However, it wasn't until World War II and the Cold War that these programs became highly secretive and more advanced. During this time, major world powers like the United States, the Soviet Union, and Japan invested heavily in biological warfare research. One of the most infamous biological weapons programs was Japan's Unit 731, where prisoners of war were subjected to horrifying experiments involving diseases like anthrax and plague. The Soviets and Americans also developed their own secret biological weapons programs, weaponizing pathogens such as anthrax and smallpox to be deployed against their adversaries if necessary. Despite the signing of the Biological Weapons Convention, BWC, in 1972, which prohibited the development, production, and use of biological weapons, several countries continued their research covertly. The Soviet Union's Biopreparat program, for example, continued its biological weapons development well into the 1980s, experimenting with deadly pathogens like Ebola and Marburg viruses. The threat of biological weapons today. While many nations claim to have abandoned their biological weapons programs after the BWC, the threat of biological warfare is far from over. The knowledge of how to produce biological weapons still exists, and advancements in biotechnology and genetic engineering have made it easier to potentially create more dangerous pathogens. There are also fears that non-state actors, including terrorist groups, could seek to develop or acquire biological weapons for use in attacks. In recent years, the risk of biological weapons has been heightened by concerns about the dual-use nature of certain biotechnological research. Gain-of-function experiments, which involve altering viruses to study their potential impact on humans, have sparked debate over whether these techniques could be misused to create biological weapons. The importance of preparedness. In the event of a biological attack, global preparedness is critical. Nations must invest in early detection systems, rapid response protocols, and the development of vaccines and treatments to minimize the potential damage caused by biological agents. Collaborative efforts between governments, international organizations, and scientific communities are essential to preventing the proliferation of biological weapons and mitigating the risk of an attack. Biological weapons programs represent one of the most dangerous threats to global security, with the potential to cause widespread devastation. Although many countries have committed to halting the development of these weapons, the knowledge and technology to create them still exist, keeping the threat alive. As we look to the future, it's crucial to remain vigilant, enforce international agreements, and continue to improve our preparedness for biological threats. If you found this exploration of biological weapons programs insightful, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on future content. Let us know in the comments what you think about this issue and if there are other topics you'd like us to cover. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.